All right, friends, this is Jared Dodd. Welcome you back to the 15 Essentials. This is number 5, and we're talking about history. Our family is a big fan of history. When these 4 children found out that we were talking about history, they wanted to be a part of it because they love history. Okay, so why is history an essential? Well, the Bible commands us in Psalm 78 and elsewhere that it's the parents' job to teach history to our children. And in the context of that psalm, really the essence behind that command is, and I'm not sure who coined the phrase, but whoever is ignorant of history is doomed to repeat it. History does repeat itself. So much of the nonsense that we're experiencing in our current culture is because of just ignorance when it comes to history. So this is really the opportunity we have as parents and as a church with our children. If we want them to be strong families, we see the breakdown of the families in our nation. If we want to avoid that, history is a huge part of that. If we want to help our children escape from all of the socialist and communistic philosophies that are being pressed upon them without them even knowing it, if we want them to not be duped into that, history is a big part of that. If we want our children to be masculine men and feminine women today, we're raising by and large masculine girls and feminine boys. If we want to escape from that trap and raise our boys to be men and our girls to be women, friends, history is indispensable. It is huge. So let me share with you real quick some histories that I would encourage you. These are just general categories of history that I would encourage you to teach your children. First of all, world history, starting in the beginning with God creating the heavens and the earth. Just that starting point is huge. I mean, that's the worldview difference between the Christian and the atheist, and the way that plays out is very, very real and very different based on how you start. So giving them a good understanding of world history. I think as Americans, American history is huge. There's some key wars that I think they need to know about and the reasons behind those wars. That would be the Revolutionary War, World War I, and especially II. I think the war between the states is huge. There's tons of really important history and really important ideas and really important people. We're going to talk about people in history in a moment. As Texans, we love Texas history. Texas War for Independence is huge, and there's many powerful ideas. So once again, if we want our children not to repeat all of the failures of history and not to get duped, they need to know history. And really that leads to the last category of history that I would encourage you. There's so much more. For instance, I love Scottish history. But anyhow, just getting to some of these essential histories, the last 250 years of philosophy and all of the isms that have come out of evolutionism, like feminism, adolescence, realism, Marxism, all of these philosophies, all of these battles of ideas and these worldviews, history is huge. So explaining to them how all of this happened, how really we're seeing the death of Western Christendom in just the past couple of 100 years, it's very, very, very important. Okay, so let's transition from history to people, because really history is all about God's providential will being played through in people's lives. Some of my children's best friends are people they've never met. People who are long gone, but they're people they hope to meet in heaven. And so I thought I would give them an opportunity just to share some of their heroes. And see, this is where the opportunity that we have as parents is to give our children real role models. The Hulk and Batman, there might be some good qualities there, but they aren't real. And there's nothing wrong with fictitious characters, but there are real heroes of faith, not just in the scriptures, but in the last 2,000 years of church history that give our boys godly men to look at and to be inspired by, and our girls godly women to also be inspired by. So, who wants to go first? Any volunteers? All right, Jedediah, tell us some of your heroes, some of your favorite people in history. I asked them each to come up with 3.
Well, the first one I'm going to talk about is Davy Crockett.
And why do you like Davy Crockett? Pretty cool guy?
Yeah.
What did he do?
He fought in the Alamo for one.
Yeah, that was good. Okay, who else? Who's someone else? Davy Crockett, great hero. Who else?
Joan of Arc.
Joan of Arc.
I really like Joan of Arc.
Yeah, she was a pretty cool gal, huh? Do you remember how she died? She died a martyr's death, didn't she? Yeah. She was burnt at the stake. Okay, who else? Excellent job. Who else? You guys remember who he said?
Robert the Bruce.
Robert the Bruce, that's right. Robert the Bruce.
Scottish, right?
He was Scottish, yeah. He was the King of Scotland. And he gave up a lot for his kingdom. His family was persecuted and many of them killed. Excellent list, buddy. So those are some of your best friends, huh?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, Ivy, how about you?
I have William Wallace.
William Wallace. I bet you'd want to marry him if he was still around. Yeah. William Wallace. Okay, who else?
Perpetua.
Perpetua. She was a martyr from the year 200 or so. Yeah, she's an amazing woman. Great role model.
Jim Bowie.
Jim Bowie. He's a good old Texan knife fighter. Some of these, they're role models in certain aspects of their character. He showed bravery, and he was a protector of women and children. He was a guy that stood up for women and children. Excellent list. Israel, Isaiah boy, what do you got?
I really like George Washington. He led the Americans, and he was a really great guy. And another hero that I really like is Robert E. Lee, because he fought in the Civil War, and
He was a godly man.
Yeah, he was really godly. And then Stonewall Jackson, he was really godly, great husband.
Great husband. Yeah, Isaiah hasn't read it yet, but Jared and I have read a book called, I think it's Letters from Stonewall Jackson, or Letters to. It's by Bill Potter. But that was a good book, wasn't it? Yes. That was a great book. Yeah. So Stonewall Jackson, Robert E. Lee, those are really powerful characters. Your cousin Isaac would really like that list because he just had a son, and what did he name his son?
Washington Lee.
Washington Lee. So inspired by those heroes. All right, JD.
My three favorites are Winston Churchill.
Winston Churchill, awesome prime minister in World War II. Probably some people might say the war would have gone different if Churchill wouldn't have been the prime minister at the time. Okay, who else?
Jeff Davis is my second one.
Jefferson Davis,
Yes.
President of the Confederacy. Very good.
And my third one's Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan. Some great men. You guys have anything else you want to say about history? So we're trying to inspire parents to really just make history a priority. Anything else you'd say?
I have something else.
Okay, what's that?
It's history. Everyone should know about it.
Very, very wise words from a true historian.
Learn more about great people.
Should more about great people, yeah. Those people left a legacy that many are forgotten. We don't know about these great people. Okay, so friends, history, it's huge, it's awesome, and would inspire you. I'll put some of our favorite history resources in the description below. If you have any other great heroes that you would like to share on this, put it in the comments. Give us some of your family's heroes and role models. All right, friends, hey, the essentials, it's huge. Blessings to you. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.